my god, yeah. From when I was younger, my parents have said doctor, pharmacist, lawyer, scientist, like anything that will just really bring in a lot of money. But I think that really has to do with the fact that like growing up, they struggled a lot in their country, you know, and like my parents have done so much to come to this country and they've like sacrificed so much. So they just don't want me to even have to deal with like struggling financially, and they just want me to be very well off and, you know, just basically have everything like they didn't have and just like not have to work very hard. So like it's funny and I joke about it, but like it is, you know, from like that space.
Yes. Their Arabs are very big on, you know, doctors, all that stuff, doctors, lawyers, like, they love to brag about what their children are doing, so there is a pressure to do that, but luckily I just don't do it, and my parents still support me, so.
Yes. I do think that I was pushed more toward medicine. I don't even know if it was originally I have grown to really want to be in that field, but I don't know if it was originally my want, like if it was my idea. But I don't know, growing up, like all my uncles and aunts are all like doctors, vets, nurses, like pharmacists. So it's just kind of like in the family, and people are like, oh yeah, you could be like and both my parents are engineers, so it's like you could be a engineer or a doctor, but you have choices. So you can say that it's pressure.
Well, I know everyone says that, like, Arabs just want all their kids to be doctors. Like, oh, all the sciences and sciences of the world. And it's like I get that, but I honestly never felt pressured. Well, I felt pressured, and yet I felt discouraged at the same time. Because like I said, had I been a guy, I think my father would have been more confident in my abilities. So growing up, he was like, whenever I had like an interest, because I'm a forensic science major, and I had that interest in like pursuing my medical degree, possibly getting a PhD, he'd be like, well, you know, that's very difficult. That's a very difficult thing to do. Are you sure you're prepared for that? And then I'm like, but you're pre-med, right? Like, as long as you're in the sciences. But are you sure? Because it's really, really hard. And I'm like, I'm sure. Thanks, Dad. At the same time, I feel like I was directed away, and yet I was like, I had like cones put in my path. For instance, my father's side of the family is very conservative. My mother's side is as well, but my father's side to a completely different degree. And so his sister, my auntie Naz, she has a husband who's he's a bit of a sexist. Okay, not even bit. He's a sexist. So we were in the car ride my father was driving us back to VCU because we had gone to visit for a time. And so my aunt's husband, this misogynist, decided to accompany us. And so on the way, he's asking us about what we want to do. And I have the aspiration to become a surgeon one day. While I know that this isn't set in stone and that one day maybe I will desire something else, I think that this is the path for me right now, and so I stick with it. And when people ask me, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be a surgeon. And so upon hearing this, he said, what kind of field would you like? I said, probably general, just because I think general body, I don't know, it sounds fascinating. So he's like, no, that's too hard for you. As a woman, I don't think you're strong enough for that. And I froze and I go, excuse me? And he's like, yes, try something like plastic surgery. Less standing, more your area. You're so pretty, it'll work. And I literally just rolled my eyes and I go, no, I want to go into general surgery. He's like, are you sure you're not? Are you sure you're kind of weak, you seem small. Can you handle standing 8 hours a day? I said, yes, this is what I want to do. This is not something that you can just, I was very upset, and I kept saying, no, I want to do this. And he said, are you sure? I don't think you can handle it. I said, no, this is what I want to do. I know I can handle it. I know my abilities. And I got kind of abrupt at that point, and my dad, sensing that this was going to take a little bit of a turn, said, oh, yeah, I believe in my daughter. Don't worry. Whatever she wants to do, she knows she can do it. And while he didn't really go into depth of defending me, I guess that's the best I can hope for my father. So I think that was like the best he could probably come up with at the time. So I guess I should appreciate that much.